Hi, thank you for joining me for today's process video. And today's photo is of my two children with Sophie, Leanne's daughter, and we were on a cruise. And on this particular day, we'd stopped at Porto, and we found this really nice vista of the town and took a picture of the kids together. So today I wanted to use my Vicki Boutin Where to Next. And in this layout, I'm definitely letting the background paper do the talk. It's got those lovely strips of paper across it. Well, in fact, it's from the paper pad, and this is actually with the strips going top to bottom. But I decided to turn the paper around and have them going up and down across the page because my photo is landscape rather than portrait. I thought it suited that better. So I'm just cutting some mats at the moment to add behind the photo. I've got that beautiful map paper. I think that was from the 6x8 paper pad. It may have been a scrap from a 12x12. I just went through the scraps that I've got in this collection to choose some mats, and then I'm going to glue these down. So I'm offsetting the map paper and to the right hand side, and then offsetting the yellow paper to the left hand side there, and just using my Tim Holtz edge distresser to distress those edges, just to create a little bit of definition really, with it going on top of some very busy background. I thought it was necessary to do that, and I do love the look of texture on a page anyway, so you'll find me quite often distressing my edges. So just going around that yellow piece now, and because these papers, some of them are from the paper pad, it is much thinner, so sometimes I find it easier to stick them onto the photo and then distress rather than trying to hold the thinner paper and distress that. Now I've used the Hey Little Magpie film strip die set to cut a couple of film strips from black cardstock. I'm just using one here, and in the end I just use the edges of it to create a border, almost like a shelf really, for the photo to sit on. So I'm just trimming off those struts that go across the film strip, and then I shall butt these two up against one another and have them running, like I say, across the bottom of the picture. So there's the right hand side, and just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to get that stuck down, and then I'll add the left hand side afterwards, and you don't even notice the join. It's so smooth the way that these go across. So I'm just using my T-square ruler to make sure that I do get that straight because I'm well known for not getting things straight, so that really helps me out. And then just snipping off the excess, and I'll get this piece glued down now to the left. And I don't overlap them at all, I just butt them up. That works really nicely. So there we go, that's that nice little shelf to add that photo to. I'm going to get that stuck down now. I'm not using any foam today, I just wanted a fairly flat layout to add to my album. And this is from 2018. So now into the puffy stickers to find a title, and I'm just going to title this Hello Porto. I saw that lovely word hello, and I thought that would work really nicely here. But you can see that it's sort of getting lost in the pattern paper to the left of the photo, so I will resolve that in a minute. Pulled out the alphabet thickers from this collection, and I was amazed. I did actually have the letters left to spell Porto. These are running out quite quickly. Still got a lot of U's, you can see, but not much else really. So it was nice to be able to spell that. And then I just create an exclamation mark using an I and one of the dots. So this is where I peel this hello off and try and stick it down and realise that it really is too dark behind it. So I'm going to look and see what I can add behind to brighten that up a little. So I go into the the papery pack and find this. I think I've cut this off using part of it on a previous layout. So that works really nicely. And look at how that brightens up that hello, so you can read it perfectly. So it just sort of blends into the rest of the strips really on the backing sheet, so I was really happy with that. And then I saw this tag and thought that might be nice to add to the bottom, just to create a bit of interest there, because you can barely see any of the strips of paper behind the photo, or the printed bits behind the photo, so I thought this would work nicely. So you can see all those chipboard alphabets going everywhere on the page as I lift this up. Thank heavens I hadn't actually glued them down yet. And just position them roughly where I wanted them to go. So just messing about to get those back on, and then I'll work out what to do next. So continuing to go through the papery pieces, And I find these word phrases, I love these. And I just find this one that says, so many reasons to smile. So that's going to lay underneath the title Porto in the end, just there. And it's bringing all these pieces together. You can see because I've overlapped that half onto the tag and half off, it sort of blends that tag into the layout rather than keeping it as a separate piece. So continuing to go through, and I find these lovely washi stickers, so I think they'll be a nice addition to the strips that I've got in the background. So first of all the pink one, and I add half to the top and then the other half to the bottom here on the right. And then I choose another colour, the blue one, to do the same again. There we go, so just peeling it off, cutting it in half, and this time using the bottom at the top and the top at the bottom, if that makes sense. So as if the brush had started at the top and finished at the bottom, where the other one's going the other way round. And that does more or less get covered by those alphabets, but you can still see it peeking through. So now having a look to see what else I can find. I was looking at those coffee rings, but I decided against it. But then I spot this lovely long black arrow, and I think that will work really nicely on the other side of that tag, just to draw the eye across to the title. So that's what I did there. And then this label can go at the top there, just to hold the date in due course. I also find a lovely bulldog clip. You always find hundreds of these in Vicki's collections, and that pink works really nicely up there. So I'm just going to add that up there, and this little blue geotag to the left. So of course I wanted to add a few scattery things, so a little heart, and then I'm going to add some twine to the bulldog clip and also to that tag at the bottom. So just letting that piece flow freely. I will add a dot of glue here and just hold that down, using my scissors to keep it in place. And then I find some tickets that I had on my desk. So these are from the 49er Market collection, the Ticket Essentials, and I'm just going to tuck that under that right hand side and just rough them up a little bit, add a little bit of a fold just to create some texture there. So a tab from my EK Success tab punch. I just punch a load of these out and keep them in a drawer on my desk because I tend to use those to hold my date. So I will do that in due course using my roller date stamp, but I'm just going to tie a bow with that same silver grey wax twine at the bottom there. Just fiddling to get that bow how I want it, and then snipping off the ends. And then just a dot of glue to hold the bow so it doesn't untangle. So now, as I say, coming in with my date, so I'm just stamping it on some white cardstock. If you've watched my videos for a while, you'll know this is something that I do a lot, just to make it stand out against the black of the tab at the top there. So I'm going to glue down these alphabets. I won't make you watch me do that. Just as you saw, they're not very sticky, so they need a little bit of help now. So just adding a bit of wet glue there to hold those in place. And then I find this other label that says so much to do, and on a cruise there's always so much to do, so I thought that would work. And then I really like this map sticker, so I'm just folding it where the creases of the map would go naturally and then just sticking it down with a little bit of dimension onto the page just at the bottom there. And then I find this compass, but it doesn't stay there in the end. I do move it to the left here, and I'm much happier with it just tucked underneath that P. And then just looking to see where to add that little heart. Back into these puffy stickers just to see if there are any other little bits that I can add around. And I really like this fern, and it does stay on the left hand side here. It just sort of adds a little bit of definition to that title. So just adding that there. I've pulled up one of the hearts because it would have been hidden by the fern, so I just added that at the bottom and then wanted to bring another one over to the right for balance. So now I'm going to add some gold splatters using my gold watercolour paint. I think this is a Vicki Boutin one from one of her collections. And that finishes off the layout. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed this, and I shall see you soon. Bye.